Hello, hello, and welcome to Tarot and the Stars, your astrological guidance for the week ahead. If you do not know that there is an eclipse on Monday, April 8th, and that it is in the sign of Aries, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you've been doing. I'm a little jealous. You've probably been off grid, like sipping coconut water, building a house out of reeds and bamboo, and hanging out with capybaras and surfing. And that sounds amazing. But if you have any sort of access to the internet, you know that we've got an eclipse coming up on Monday, April 8th, and it is in Aries. And I wanted to come and make a short support video, pulling up the chart for April 8th and talking about the energetics of all of this Aries energy. So I'm going to get right into it and open up the charts. And this is the chart for April 8th. Looking a little bit closer, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets and nodal points in the sign of Aries. So anytime there's 3 or more bodies in the sky within 10 degrees of each other, we call that a stellium. And so we have like a stellium on crack right now on April 8th. This is rare because of the intense quantity of Aries energy. So when we're talking about Aries, we're talking about your life force power. We're talking literally about the planet Mars, which is a fire element. And anytime I think about fire element, I think about the solar plexus in the body. Solar plexus is like your own internal sun. It's your life force energy. Aries is the spring. It's new life. It's new beginnings. It's like a fresh start, and it's a authentic one. You know, the flower blooms and doesn't make itself smaller according to who walks by it. So there's so much about expanding the wholeness of who you are and expanding past old beliefs, old programs, old thoughts that are limiting the wholeness of who you are and how you shine and who you shine in front of. So Aries really is this like full throttle, this is me, me, me. I am me, and I am not afraid to shout my love for me from the rooftops. That's at least like where we want to take this Aries energy. It's so much about loving and accepting and just radically embracing all of who you are and knowing yourself. Aries is about the first house. It is about self-discovery. It is about knowing yourself. So this is a time where all sorts of situations, all sorts of thoughts might come up, and all of these thoughts and all of these external stimulation or situations are opportunities for you to get to know yourself on a deeper level. And you might be meeting parts of yourself that are uncomfortable right now, or that you don't really want to see right now. And the gift is to love all of the parts of yourself and to understand that each human being on this earth has like a protector energy, has an ego that just wants to keep them safe, doesn't want them to feel discomfort, doesn't want them to feel any sort of pain. And that safety ego can really limit ourselves from living a totally lit up life that's authentic, because when you live an authentic life, it requires that you do things that are uncomfortable. It requires that you do work that feels shitty. It requires that you know the parts of yourself that want to take you down, or that want to create drama or catastrophe, that want to stop you from evolving and from growing. That is the role of the lower vibration ego and the inner critic and the shadow, it's all a way to keep you from changing and expanding and evolving. So during this eclipse and this March 25th to April 8th portal from the full moon in Libra to the new moon in Aries, you might meet all sorts of sides of yourself and have an opportunity to get to know yourself very, very deeply. We're talking about Mars energy, which is solar energy, it is masculine energy. It's about taking action in your life, it's about your creative life force and living in a way that you feel excited to wake up in the morning. Like you get out of bed and you're like, let's fucking go. I'm so excited to do this thing. This is exactly what I want to do. I am lit up. I am feeling so into the choices I've made. I can't wait to go to work today. Let's go. You know, how many people are saying that on this planet? Probably like 0.5%, 0.005%, something like that. Why? Because it is fucking challenging to create a life that you really love. It takes a shit ton of bravery and a shit ton of courage and leaping into the unknown and trusting yourself to actually follow your heart and to follow your soul. So most people don't do it. Most people are like, no, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to be in this relationship that I don't really like, or I'm going to be in this job that I don't really like, or I'm going to, have these friends that I don't really feel aligned with, but I'm too afraid to speak my truth because if they leave, I won't have any friends. And the energy of Aries says, you being authentically you and going after what you really want and your heart's desires is going to open the door where all the things that are in alignment with your heart and your soul are going to meet you right where you're at. So fear not what will get taken away, because anything that is not meant for you will pass you by. Anything that is meant for you is coming your way. Anything that is not meant for you, it will pass you by unless you choose to stay, unless you choose to stay in it. Now, of course, we live in this grid, we live in this matrix, and we have to pay the bills, and we want to pay the bills because we want to be able to turn our lights on, and we want to be able to have a refrigerator, and we want to be able to, you know, take a shower, inside of our house, and we have all of these blessings from being part of this grid. And it's about the perspective that you have in it. So the goal is to fill yourself up with love and to fill yourself up with light any way you can. So if you're in a situation where you are where you are, maybe you're not that happy where you are, and you might be on the one side fucking hating it, complaining, not wanting to be there. On the other side, you might be building towards something new and doing the internal work to prepare yourself to make the next shift. This solar eclipse energy, where the moon passes over the sun and blocks out the light of the sun, is said to be dimming of that light inside of us and amplifying the shadows. So if you've got shadow stuff coming up right now, you're meeting all the parts of yourself. And that is exactly what the highest frequency Aries wants to do. It wants to know itself. It wants to discover itself. So back to the example I was giving, where, you might be in a situation that you don't really want to be in. And I am absolutely not saying abandon ship, break up with your boyfriend today. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is How are you cultivating the life that you want to live every day? It's up to you. You're in charge. You're in the driver's seat of your life. This is the Aries energy. It is up to you to feel lit up. It is up to you to do the things that light you up. What do you want to do that will bring you joy and happiness? Do you want to go out dancing? Do you want to put on music in your house and have your own little dance party? Do you want to write a love letter to yourself? Do you want to put on a sexy little outfit and take selfies? Like, you do you. Whatever it is that lights you up, go towards it. Because that is part of this Aries energy. It's a lifetime collectively where we're learning to express our will. That means to be in charge, to be the leader of your life. A good mantra is, I am the leader of my life. I heard someone say the other day, I am the only one standing in my way. And I just visualized someone standing in front of her. What if you said, I am the only one leading my way? I am leading my way. This is warrior energy. Warrior, not worries. Oh no. Warrior. You are a warrior. You are a spiritual warrior if you're listening to this. So, what is it that you are a warrior for? When we talk about Aries, we're talking about being a warrior for love and light, a spiritual warrior, a warrior for your personal truth and your personal sovereignty and your inner knowing, and a warrior for trusting yourself. So you are here to learn about, collectively, all of us asserting our personal power. We want to be alive and fucking kicking, and we want to be ready to go. Now, does that mean this is an easy journey? Absolutely fucking no, it doesn't. This is a challenging journey. And the ram, Aries the ram, it wants to meet challenges. That's something it's very good at. It's very good at embracing challenge, and it's very good at embracing change. So challenge is kind of the best friend of the Aries energy, because through challenges, you end up gaining perspective and you have this new insight, which allows you to be a leader of others. So when you go through your challenge and you learn from your challenges, you gain this very particular insight that only you have, because you're the only one in your experience. And you will then be able to guide other people through those same challenges you had, using the method that you got through going through these challenges. So it's a self-oriented energy. It's, how do I experience my life? Not how do I read about it or learn about it from others. It's, I experience my life. A self-oriented sign needing to experience things for yourself and understand things from your own perspective. Now, I'm talking about the Aries archetype, right? So not everyone will feel like super aligned with that, but collectively, we are learning through experience, because this is what's going on in the sky right now. We are here right now to know ourselves. This is part of this eclipse energy, to know ourselves and to discover exactly what you want. Asking yourself, what do I really want? What does my heart really want? And what is the next step that I get to take in order to call in more of what my heart really wants? And be a little bit more selfish, or selfness, as I've been calling it lately in class. How are you choosing yourself? How are you putting on your oxygen mask first? And I'm not talking about a plane going down. Let me give you a different analogy. It's like drinking from the chalice of magic. Like, drink your magical chalice first before you go out into the world. How are you amplifying your energy first? Are you doing practices? Do you have practices in your life that amplify your energy, that create more radiance within you? This is an exciting time. This is an exciting time. There's a lot of like hubbub and fear mongering, and I am not buying it. Absolutely not. Eclipses, solar eclipses are a time when the moon crosses over the sun and the planet dims. Things get dark. And that means that the fears can come up. And that means that fear mongering, it lives in the shadows. Like, ooh, are you afraid to be in the dark? Aries is the warrior of light and love. So the astrology asks us to stay in our power and to literally be the light, like be the light during this eclipse. And don't be scared. I mean, you can be scared, that you do whatever feels good. Do whatever, you do you, boo. That's what that's what it's all about right now. But also know that the true energy of this Aries solar eclipse is about embracing your personal power, releasing the victim stories, releasing the control that the inner critic has, and being able to see in the dark, being able to clearly see even when things are dark, because you have so much practice being united and connected and in relationship with your soul. And those practices come from meditation, journaling, showing up to class, doing kriyas, doing mantra work. What's the practice that brings your radiance forth? What's the practice that gets you really connected deeply to yourself? Because that's what we're looking for. We're talking about, learning the parts of ourselves that are really powerful and really independent and very capable. And just knowing that part of ourselves, that, your power, your strength is in your ability, in your capabilities. You are capable of doing whatever it is that your heart desires. Now, the flip side to this Aries energy is feeling like, oh, I have to do it alone. I have to do it alone. I want to be alone. And the truth is that the axis of Aries is Libra, which is the other. And anytime we have one sign, we're in a dance with two signs. So Aries is me and my independence, my willpower, my strength, my decision. And Libra is who is in alignment with my belief system and my values. Who do I want on my team? Who can support me in my dreams? Because I guarantee you, there are people in your life, or maybe that you haven't met yet, that believe in you and believe in your dreams. And that's what we're doing together. We're here to connect. We're here to support each other and to light each other up and do that dance of me, you, and we. So when we go into this eclipse day with the power of the self and the power of the other, which is also our mirror, what you are seeing in the people in your life and in the relationships as a mirror to yourself, sometimes triggering, sometimes very triggering, showing us where we're growing and healing, where we're bringing more compassion in. With this Aries and Libra axis, and if you have Aries and Libra in your chart, you can pull up the house. Actually, any cardinal sign, so Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, those 4 signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, just find those in your birth chart and see what houses they're in. In fact, you can check out this right here that I pulled up on the screen. House 1 is the Aries house. I don't know how much I like this one that I just found. Appearance, outward personality. The first house is about knowing the self, it's about self discovery. So if you have Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer in the first house, you're in a self discovery phase, understanding your identity. If you have it in the second house, Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, you're in a phase of discovering your willpower around your possessions and your money and your values, and what you want to do about that, and what stories you want to tell. Like, we, so many of us have stories about our finances that we're healing every single day. If you have Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn in the third house, we're talking about your mind and the, like, what is happening in your mind? What are you communicating? What are you saying to other people? Are there any conflicts coming up to be worked through, to be clarified and understood? Because Gemini really has this curiosity to learn. If you have Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn in the fourth, this is the moon house. Your home, your parents, your roots, your inner security. You might have things coming up in your actual home where you live with your family that you're learning about, that you're growing in. If you have Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer in the fifth house, romance, children, fun, creativity, you're learning about your personal connection to your creativity, to the fun in your life. You're learning about how you need to use your willpower to have more fun, to bring in more joy. If you've got any of those in the sixth house, this is your day to day work. So you're having discoveries and realizations about how you serve the world in your daily life, also about your health, about what you want to improve in your life and in your mind. If you have any of these in the seventh, now the energy is on partnerships. This is the Libra house, right? So if you have Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn in the seventh house, there's a emphasis during this time on your relationship. Could be your partnership, could be coworkers, could be friendships. Ideally, it's someone that you are working with for one main purpose. And there could be conflict that comes up in that house, um, if there is miscommunication. And the idea is that two people are working towards one shared purpose. Eighth house, if you've got any of these signs: sex, death, letting go, regeneration, other people's money, and sharing. This is deep clearing for you, deep healing, deep psychological healing. If you have any of those four in the eighth house, really deep psychological healing. Also, depending on your age and what's going on in your life, you could get pregnant. So just being aware of that. I'm just kidding, but I'm not really. The ninth house: higher education, philosophy, publishing, religion, travel, law. This, desire or realizations around how you want to expand your learning. Maybe you want to take a new course, or you want to travel in a new way. Or maybe you want to do psychedelics. It's not on there, but you may feel just a call for higher consciousness, getting into that higher consciousness space. The 10th house: Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra. We're talking about your career. We're talking about your purpose, feeling purposeful about the work that you do and the legacy that you want to leave behind. Like, you might ask yourself questions like, if I were to die, I know that's really intense, but what do I want my obituary to say? What do I want my obituary to say if I were to die? Jessica Somali stayed inside and was afraid to go hiking even though she really wanted to. Like, no, you want to say Jessica Somali climbed the highest peaks. Or, what you might be getting questions around the work that you do and that you feel called to do in this world, because this 10th house is about feeling purposeful. The 11th house, now we're talking about friends, groups, goals, aspirations. Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, friends, groups, goals, aspirations. Your willpower and your authenticity, how does that show up in the groups you're in? How does that show up in your friendships? How does that show up in the far off goals you have for yourself, in the far off future? 11th house is the far off future. And then the 12th house, where everything comes into one to be freed and released. Solitude, institutions, transcendence, self-sabotage. That happens in this Pisces house. Libra, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn. If you've got that in the 12th house, spiritual connecting, spiritual insights, downloads. Either you are using your willpower and your choice making to sit with your higher self and to connect to your higher wisdom and your higher power and spirit, or you might want to escape and get the fuck out of here, self-sabotage, and just throw in the towel. But we don't want you to throw in the towel, because all your guides are fucking cheering for you, and all of the planets are cheering for you, and everybody here is cheering for you. So if you've got 12th house of those signs, you really want the eclipse to be a deeply spiritual day. And I feel, for all of us, there is this incredible phenomenon that some of you will be seeing and some of you won't. And it is a time where in the past, I would say this is a time to let go, because the moon is blocking the light of the sun, and the sun is our power, right? The sun is the willpower. The sun is that bright shining light, and the moon is the subconscious, and the moon is the shadow. So we want to be really intentional about how we go into this day. What are the intentions that you want to go in with? Can you manifest on this day? You could. You could also open yourself up as a prayer channel where you're wishing the best for everyone on this planet, and you're sending love to everyone on this planet, and you're connecting with your higher self. And that's, in certain traditions, like I was just reading about the Navajo, there are certain indigenous traditions and Ayurvedic Indian traditions. They don't look at the eclipse. They go inside and pull down the shades and they pray. And I really honor indigenous wisdom, in a really big way, the wisdom of my ancestors. And for me, I will engage in that in mantra work and prayer when the eclipse is exact. And whatever you choose to do, trust your inner voice and your inner wisdom. And above all else, call down and radiate your light, because the world so deeply needs your light right now. There's so much fear in the world and so much change in the world. And you have such a strong ability to change the vibration on this planet by simply showing up and being yourself and shining your light. Happy eclipse. I will see you Monday night at 6:30. If I don't see you, I'll see you in the recording, or you'll see me. And sending all the love to you. See you on the other side.